Hi, and welcome to Fitscope Rowing. My name is Bailey. I'll be your instructor today. And today we're just going to go over the basics of rowing, the basics of your machine, and just a few 101 lessons of rowing. All right. First off, you can grab a little mount. They make all kinds of different mounts. Some mount on the side, some mount on the top, and just put it on your machine. Then you can take your phone, turn it on, and just slip it right into the lock. It'll make it easier to watch along as I row with you. So first stop on the rowing machine is the foot stretcher. This is where your feet attach to the machine and you directly exert your power right there. So you pull the tab up and you can slide. It's pretty easy. I'm a size 12 men's and I keep mine at about a 3, but you should test it out. Find something that feels right to you. You don't want the strap all the way by your ankle, and you don't want the strap all the way by your toes either. You want it right at the crease of your shoe, right around where the laces end. Secondly is your damper. Now there's a lot of people who play around with this setting. You'll see some people at the gym, they'll set it all the way to 10. That's really, really heavy. If you try and do a whole workout with your monitor set at 10, it's just going to be super heavy and you're not going to be able to have the same endurance throughout the whole lesson. 1 is super light. And again, if you're having difficulties, maybe you strained your back, it's good to start there, but you're not going to get, again, the fullest amount of your workout in possible. Right between a 3 and a 4, on the lower end of the half. That's the closest to water. And that's what we're doing here on the erg. We're making it just like we're on the water. Right? This is supposed to be a boat. We're supposed to have oars, and this is the setting that we want to be at. There are some workouts where you can raise it up, make it a little harder, raise it lower, maybe do a longer workout. But for our purposes, we're going to keep it right there. So strap in, pull the tab, and grab the handles. So there's a few different positions of the stroke. The first one we'll go over is the finish. The finish is after we've taken a full stroke, we're ready to get our next one. At the finish, you want to have a straight posture, lean back, arms in. Notice that my elbows aren't down and my wrists aren't bent, and my elbows aren't up here either. Either way, you're going to hurt something. If your elbows are down here and your wrists are bent, you're going to get tendonitis in your wrist that way. You never want to be pulling with your wrist bent. Further, if you're trying to pull up to your chin, if you're pulling too high, you're going to hurt your shoulder. So it's really important to pull in. You want this chain to be level with the ground. Okay? You don't want it up here. You don't want it down here. Nice and level with the ground. The first part of the stroke is the arms out. We always want to get the arms out first. This creates a space for your knees to come up into. If you compressed first and your arms went up and over, your hands are doing a lot of motion. And remember, we're trying to make a situation like we were on the water. If we had oars in our hand right now and we went up and over with our hands, our oars would be up and down as well, and that would make us unstable. We want to resemble what we do on the water. So back at the finish, arms out. The next part of the stroke is we lean forward. It's important that you lean from the hips. It's not a bend. You're not coming from here and you're not bending up. That's going to hurt your back. Hinge from the hips. Arms out, lean forward, and the next part is compress. Notice how that when our arms are out and we've leaned forward, now there's this perfect space for our knees to go into. At this point, we're at the catch. We're all the way extended, ready to push off the foot stretcher. Now, it's important that we don't just shoot out. If we just shoot out and our hands don't move, we just lost out on all that leg strength. So it's really important that when we drive, our shoulders and our hips move together. And then the shoulders move, hands come in. All together, it should look like this. Nice job. Leg drive, lean back, pull in. Arms out, lean forward, compress. When you come to the finish, make sure that your elbow and your hand make a nice straight line. No bending, no up in the air. Nice straight line with the wrist. Arms out, lean forward, compress. Take a few strokes, get used to this new motion. Rowing isn't like something like cycling or elliptical or treadmill where the machine will help you move in the direction you have to. If you're on a cycle, your feet will naturally move in a circular motion. The erg doesn't show you that, neither does a boat. It's really important that you have proper technique while using this machine. Not only will you get a better workout, but you won't hurt yourself. So, no matter what machine you have, you should notice that a monitor turned on somewhere and that you see a few different numbers pop up. Rowing typically is done in meters. So we have the meters that we've done so far, a timer that gives us how much time we've rowed so far, strokes per minute. Usually we keep that in the 20s. Right now it's at a 17, really slow. A 28 would be higher, or 30 would be really high. 18, 17 is really slow. The stroke rate per minute is a really important number. It's a good measurement of how fast and a way to control your workout. Another important number that measures how much you're pulling on the handle is your 500 meter split. That gives you a projection of how fast it would take you to go 500 meters. Right now I'm at a 235, really slow, just paddling along. If I pull harder, the number goes down. The number just went down because I'm pulling harder and it would take me less time to go 500 meters. Now, no matter what monitor you have, no matter what machine, you should play around with all the buttons. Find the different settings. They all have workouts you can program in. They all have games or memory and see your past workouts. Another important part about the stroke is the paddle, the steady state, and your on stroke. So when we're paddling, like we are right now, paddling's like walking. Doesn't take much effort, but we're still moving. We're not just sitting, we're moving consistently, keeping the fan going, but we're not really pushing hard. Steady state is like your jog that you can do for miles. It's, a 5-mile jog, a 10-mile jog. It's a little faster than a walk, a little bit more effort, but you can sustain it for a very long time. And then lastly is our sprint or our on pace. Again, that's harder. Usually you can't sustain it for as long. Just keep up with this. Get used to the rowing stroke. It's not a natural motion like walking or running or one of those things. This takes time. Really check yourself. Make sure that you're doing all the strokes correctly. Make sure that your chain is level with the ground. Make sure that your arms come up forward and that your knees come into the space created. Very nice. It's important to get this foundation down now. You don't want to start bad habits and then have to break them. And if you take this to the water, which I suggest you do, you're going to be very happy that you started this good habit now, because on the water, this really helps you balance the boat. Nice job. If you ever forget any part of the stroke before a workout, always feel free to come back to this video and just go over the basics. Now, throughout our workouts, I'll go over some more drills, some different technique things. There's a lot going on in this sport. It's not a very simple sport, it's a very technical sport, but it is a lot of fun. That's all I have for this 101 session for right now. If you have any questions, you can contact me at my Instagram handle, @BaileyHealthCoaching. And I can't wait to get started on our workouts.